Good morning, YouTubes. We're out here in the shop again this morning with the V85, although filthy. We're going to go ahead and show you how to remove the fuel tank. And if I was one of those cool content editors, I'd be like, and the tank would fall off, but I don't know how to do all that. So unfortunately, we're going to take the slow route, and we're going to show you all step by step how to get it off. All right, let's go. Alright, so the first step that I've done here, go ahead, let's see if I can see this. I might have to get behind it. Sorry about the audio. Take your seat off, alright? Take out anything that you've got in this area, because when we take, let's see if I can show that little fuel clip. When we take that off, it's going to spill a little fuel. So what do? I just throw a little towel on there. And we're going to go ahead and do that first, because I'm sure a lot of you are probably tuning in because you want to see, like, hey man, how do you get that clip off? The rest of it's really easy. So I'm going to set you up on a tripod because it's kind of a pain in the butt. I'm going to need both hands, and we'll get that clip off first thing. Alright. This is about as close as I can get y'all here. So this whole yellow piece slips back. And when it's forward, it kind of hides these white, I don't know, push buttons. So you got to slide it back. Now, normally what you want to do is you're going to want to have a towel here. Let's see, is that going to interfere? Yeah, pretty well. Let's see if I can do something else here. That's better. Let's try that. So, important step, safety glasses, because your fuel will be under pressure. I'm not going to say that it'll squirt in your eye, but it might. But you need to press in on those two little white tabs, and boom. You're going to lose some fuel, not much, just a little bit. The towel's there to soak it up. You need to be gentle with this thing because this plastic line, it's kind of hard. And if you get too aggressive with it, you're going to end up breaking that line. And that's just going to spell all kind of bad things. So, there's your hard part. As you can see, it's not that difficult. This bike's only been sitting here for, I don't know, 10 minutes. I literally just drove it up here. So, it still had some fuel pressure on it. If your bike's been sitting for a while, it might bleed off a little, it might not. Just be very careful when you take that off because of, you know, fuel will splash. Alright, so now that we got that on, taken care of, let's get on to the rest of it, shall we? Alright, so the rest of the steps are fairly easy. You've got this top cover here where I don't know, it's like a shroud for where your ignition key goes, and there's two screws, one on each side, and this is what, a 4mm Allen wrench, and it's probably not completely, well, no, it is completely necessary to get this off. Only because down underneath of here there are two screws. Let's see if it comes off now. It should just pop right out. Alright, so down inside of here there are two screws that hold the front of the fuel tank on, and they are an 8mm. So I've got an 8mm on the extension just so I can get down in there. I'll tell you what I'm going to do. I'm going to bring this camera around and try and show you these. Alright, so you can see right there at the end of my finger where I'm pointing, there's one and there's one. Alright. So those bolts are pretty easy to get to. And they're not super tight. They're, I don't know, what is that, like an M6 by something? I don't know. I don't think it really matters. All three of the bolts that you'll have to take out of here are all identical. So, you know, you don't have to worry about marking like, oh, these two go to that and that. And then, you know, you've got the main bolt back here on the back that holds the end. So we'll get all them zipped out of there. And that's it as far as screws and bolts. I'll set these to the side. Now, I don't know if I'd call this a special tool, but it's literally a 2x4. I don't know what y'all call them. I don't know what the metric size of that is. It'd be like a 50 by 100? 50 by, hell, I don't know. Anyway, so what we're going to do is we're going to move this tank, picking it straight up, straight to the back, and boom. That's all I'm doing with that 2x4 is just to help hold the tank a little bit more steady. Alright, so next step is now that we've got the tank sitting back, you can see this little, I think it's like an inline filter. I'm going to go ahead and take it off. Now, it's got like a spring style clip on it that I'm just using these little bitty pliers to squeeze it, pull it back, and then we should be able to pull it off. Wow, I was going to say relatively easily, but oh, dear God. Okay, like I said, that just pulls right off of there just really easily. Yeah. Okay, next step. Alright, now that we've gotten the front off, I've just kind of set the tank back down off my little 2x4. And you've got another vent line here. And now I can show you, that's kind of a close-up of what the little spring clips look like. I apologize for the jerkiness of this video. I'm not much of a cinematographer. Let's get that off. Yeah, let me set you down here. Alright, that one pulled off way easier. Now we have one more, and it's just an electrical fitting, I believe. So I'm going to try to show you where my hand is. I think it'd be easier for me to get it out. Hang on. Alright. I know you're not going to be able to see much of this, but it's literally just an electrical clip. Now, I've already got a spot set up over here with a towel on it to set this fuel tank so that I don't scrape it up. Alright, so this is what it looks like when you get your tank off. Unfortunately, all this area here is still taken up by the fuel tank. I only know this because I wanted to put an air horn on, and that's where I was hoping to put it. But here's the bottom of your fuel tank. See how it has that dip down? Yeah, it fits right down into that spot. This was the hose that, my God, did not want to come off. Back here is your fuel line. Here's that plug that is actually pretty easy to get off. And the other, well, looks like that's been kinked. Been kinked for a while. I believe this is a vent Might cut that off and redo that. Anyway, that's getting your tank off. Going back on is way easier. So if all you want to see is just getting off the tank, you're done here. I'm going to go ahead and film putting it back on. So if you want to stick around and watch that, we'll put the tank back on now. Alright. Okay. Just in case you're wondering, that goes on way easier than what it came off. Alright. Now, let's go back to the trusty 2x4. Get in here, hook up that. Oh yeah, I want to cut that off. I'm going to redo that. Alright. So, and this is just a little brass hose connector. I don't even know what you'd call it. Just to splice it. Alright. Roll pliers. Alright, I believe that was just a vent line, but we'll go ahead and get her fixed up anyway. Tucks up underneath with all that. So, now we can gently set all that back down. Again, I'm just checking to make sure everything looks good, goes back where it's supposed to. Everything looks really good here. Last step is just hooking this fuel line back up. Let me see if you're still in the picture here. Get up here a little bit closer. Now you can. So unlike taking it out we had to squeeze these two little white tabs. This yellow keeper still has to be towards the rear. But you literally, it just snaps in, and then push that the yellow keeper back, and that locks it back in. Alright, well, let's get these front bolts put in first. Be careful not to drop these. There's doesn't look like it'd be a good time to try and fish them back out. Alright. And let's see. Now we can come down here and put this the last bolt in. So lined up, kinda. Alright. So, I mean, really, just these three bolts holding the tank on makes it fairly easy to remove. Alright, last step here is to replace this little plastic cover here. And I tried to set the camera where you can kind of see. There's literally just two little screws in the side. I believe they're a M5, I don't know. Let's see if I can get that in here. Working at an angle here. Alright, that's got it. Push my little rubber cover back down. Alright. Alright, let's get the seat back on. Don't forget to put all your goodies back under the seat. Matter of fact, I'm going to start this up with the seat off. And let's make sure we don't have any leaks or anything. Alright, we're leak free. Alright, so there we go. We've removed the fuel tank and reinstalled the fuel tank. Pretty easy project. I mean, literally, that little clip is about the hardest thing on there. It'd take you less than 10 minutes to get this fuel tank off. The reason taking this fuel tank off wasn't a maintenance related issue. I had a viewer send in a suggestion that he'd like to know how to remove it. You know who you are. So there you go. If y'all have any suggestions like that, let me know and we'll try and make a video on it. I know some of you have been asking about the final drive and changing the oil on that. I've got 15,500 miles on it, and I think it's 18,400 when the service is due. So another few months, and we'll be doing that. So stay tuned for that. Anything else, let me know. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time.